This is a review of the Zenfone 5Z, not from a professional standpoint, because we are good e-reader. We do e-readers, tablets, digital publishing, and everything like that. Mostly e-reading. But they keep sending us these samples, so we review them as best we can. We know we're not professional cell phone reviewers. You guys don't have to comment down below and say, what are you guys doing reviewing cell phones? People send us these samples. We're going to review them as best we can. I've had a lot of Asus products. I've had tons of cell phone products in my day, so we're just going to go over everything and look at the device itself. We're not going to focus too much on the software part of things, but we will obviously dive into it. You have the SIM tray. You have two microphones on it. Microphones are always used for a mouthpiece and a camera microphone when you record things. So you have volume up and down. You have a power button. Up top, you have nothing, just some design elements. You have two cameras at the back, one wide angle, one standard. Dual flash, which has warm and cool colors, fingerprint sensor, nice backing. It does look metallic with the little spiral as you see here, but it isn't. It is glass. The bottom actually has stereo speakers built into there, although it doesn't look like it. The amount of holes, how many holes are there? 7? Yeah, so there's 2 speakers in there as it was advertised. USB-C and a 3.5mm headphone jack. Now, I will note a couple technical things. The USB-C in this case is just a charger. It is not a reverse power bank like the Zenfone 3 Zoom. And I'm going to be comparing it to the Zenfone 3 Zoom a lot, just due to this being an absolute mammoth battery. So this one actually reverse charges as a power bank because this has a 5,000 milliamp battery and this is sitting around the 3,000 mark. You have a notched design. I'll just turn that on so you can see it real quick. Let's get to a brighter screensaver. There you go. So you have a notched design and you have a camera up top, a light sensor, and the status indicator is actually located inside the earpiece off to the left because they ran out of room simply. The screen to body ratio is 85%-ish and it's absolutely massive in terms of the screen to body ratio. You can see it reaches all the way up to the top and almost entirely to the bottom, and it is a flush screen and bezel, of course, because they don't make non-flush screen and bezel phones anymore since the Xperia, no, the Sony Ericsson, that's right. The screen does jut out a little bit, so I would recommend getting a case, although they give you a case in the box, which is really nice. Zenfone branded on the side, but it is just a little jelly silicone case. The back is glass, as I said. The build is aluminum. It's very thick. It's very nice. And let's crack open the SIM card tray to show you another technical gripe I have. Using the SIM card removal tool or a paper clip. This is a problem I have with this phone over, say, even cheaper Asus phones or Asus phones. It has dual SIM, but the second SIM card tray, in the SIM card tray, the second slot is utilized for an expandable memory card, micro SD expandable, hundreds of gigabytes, or a SIM card. So unfortunately you can't use all three, like even the Asus Zenfone Max line of devices, which for some reason use USB micro, not USB-C, but have 3 slots on their SIM card tray. So that's a little technical gripe I have. So just a little comparison with my current phone. Yes, that's my newborn son there. He's 1 month old as of the date of this video. You'll see that the screen size is crazy ratio to the body. If I line my screen up with the bottom of the Zenfone 5 screen like that, you can see how much more screen you actually have. The body of this phone, the actual frame and body, is smaller than the Zenfone 3 Zoom, but the screen is almost an inch plus bigger. Look how much larger that screen is because of the absence of this gigantic bezel up top, which is not even that old. This is a 2017 mid-year release, and this is a 2018 mid-year release. So this whole notched design, whether you love it or hate it, it is revealing a lot more screen that you didn't know you could have. In this review, we're not going to show you that it can run apps and it can run the Amazon Kindle reading app, because that's boring as hell. Let's just let's just face it. So we're just going to show you things that this thing can do that previous generations of Asus phones can't. For example, it has a notch, so you can, if that bothers you up top and you want more of a conventional black notchless straight design like that, all you do is hide notch, and it actually creates a very nice line, so nothing gets lost in the top. So if you're a fan of the notch, go for it, notch it up. If you don't like it, keep it clean. If you turn lift to check phone on, you just toggle that on. It's kind of cool. So instead of double tapping to turn it on like some devices, you just lift it up and it turns on like that. So, you know, kind of nice if you always have your phone at your desk and you're just like boom and it turns on. Face unlock is nothing new in the world of smartphones. It's been around for, you know, a decent amount of time, but this one's kind of cool because you can pair it with lift phone. So if you lift the phone into your face and it catches your face, it unlocks and away you go. So that's kind of interesting. Otherwise, you just hold it up to your face, press the power button, aim your face at it, and away it goes. Now if I block the camera, turn it on, it can't see my face, of course, and then I reveal my face and boom, it unlocks. So it's very, very quick the way it unlocks via your face. If you're obviously blocking the camera, you can swipe it up like that and then do your pattern. But it has the little face icon, so you can just remove your face and then, or remove your finger and then your face is there. So it has a very wide range as well. So the camera actually shoots out at a decent angle to capture your face. So even if you're holding it on an angle, it will capture it and it will unlock your device. I personally am not the biggest fan of face unlock. I like the pin, or personally when I unlock my phones, I take it out of my pocket and tap the fingerprint scanner, and it's lightning quick. You just tap it and the phone unlocks. AI features are something that this device is promoting, basically. It's on their homepage, it's on the device when you turn it on. It explains a lot about AI. So we'll just click on all these. OptiFlex. OptiFlex makes the apps launch faster. You can choose which ones you want to launch faster. So if you don't use Calculator a lot, forget it. I use Chrome and Messages a lot, so I have that set. And you can turn off each of these features respectively. Suggest apps is on, so there will be provide personal suggestions on all apps page, etc., etc. You can just pause the video if you want to read those. AI charging. This one protects your battery through learning charging history and dynamically adjusts charging rate. So as you charge it if it knows that you charge it during the day or charging during the night, you can adjust it accordingly there. Smart screen on. If your face is inside, if the phone is shooting your face effectively, monitoring your every eye movement, and you can extend the screen time on, but that can just be adjusted by extending the screen time on the screen settings. AI ringtone adjusts the volume of incoming calls relative to the environment noise level. So if you're at a restaurant and it's like blaring and it's like you can't hear anything, the screen, you know, it'll be much louder. This guy's at karaoke. This guy has like a little baby, so it's only 1 out of 3, whereas this one's extremely loud. Expanding the screen even further, you'll see that you have the software-driven keys at the bottom here. So if I go to Google Play, you'll see all those keys are there: back, multitask, and home. But there's also a little drop down here, so you can kill that, and now your screen is even larger. So that gives you a lot of screen real estate. And if you want to correct that, you just swipe up, and you can temporarily see your keys, or you can lock it and pin it to the taskbar, so to speak. Dual SIM mode is very nice. You can put 2 SIM cards in, and you can choose, you can do dual SIM 4G, or you can actually just choose whatever one you want to connect to data and which one you want just for talking and so forth. Also, this does have NFC, which a lot of previous iterations of Zenfone didn't have, so that allows you to have NFC. You can pay for things, data transfer, and you can use Android Beam. If you don't have NFC, you can't use Android Beam, and you'll see when you swipe down, there's the NFC logo right there. Another cool thing located in the camera this time is that on previous devices here, you'll see you only have 50 or 60 Hertz, whereas on the Zenfone 5Z, you actually have 50, 60, or auto. And that's really cool because if you don't know which one you're on, you can just select auto. So the dual camera is very nice, and you can switch that by selecting the little mountain there. So you'll see that I have a toy car here, and there's something off camera here, but you can't see it unless you go wide angle. Once you do, look how wide that shot is. The degree is crazy. However, you do see this line I put in the shot. It is a little distorted, and that's because of the wider angle. It ends up being a little curved. So if you want a flatter shot, all you have to do is set it to the standard camera lens, and there are two lenses, so if you block one and then switch the camera, it becomes completely blocked because it is toggling between the two cameras on the back. This thing has a ton of features. You have Pro mode, which we're in right now, which allows you to change white balance, all the degrees of Kelvin you want, so you can go really warm or really cool, blue. Look at that. So if you're outside and it's cloudy, etc. You have exposure. Everything toggles really quick. It's very fast. You have ISO. If you really want to get technical, you have ISO. You have shutter speed if you want to film like some horror movies, or, you know, get that kind of cinematic look and film it really dark like that. You have autofocus as well, so you can see right now the car is out of focus, and then I can put it into focus with the slider bar. That is awesome. And you have reset to make everything go back to normal, or you can just select it on auto and just snap away very simply. You do have HDR recording, HDR auto. That's really nice. You can switch the aspect ratios, you can flip the camera into your face, you have timer, all the regular things. And of course we do have all of the settings themselves. You have timestamp, Asus watermark. I don't know why you'd ever want to do that, sorry, but I don't want the watermark saying Asus on my stuff. You have video quality, you have a lot of different options here. You do have 4K recording. Just note that the device will get kind of hot and it will deplete your battery life pretty greatly, and it takes up a lot of space. So whether you do 60 FPS or the standard 29.97, which is 30 essentially, it will take up a lot of battery. There's a lot of stuff here. We're not going to go through every single one of these. You have histogram, gradient, camera, sound, location, services. That basically tells you where you physically were when you took your picture. So the Asus Zenfone 5Z is overall a success in my eyes. The reason I personally really like it, me, Peter, not the Goody Reader company as a whole, why I personally like it, because it has everything. It has a headphone jack, it has an SD card slot, it has the little notch design if you're really into that. You have NFC, you have Bluetooth, you have obviously Wi-Fi, you have two cameras, you have fingerprint unlock, you have a face scanner unlock. The screen real estate is huge. The screen to body ratio is gigantic. It's glass, it's aluminum build. You have internationally dual SIM as well, so it's got a lot of bands. It's got USB-C, and it's not that expensive. It's around, if you go on Amazon.ca, you can get the 4 gig of RAM version for about $450. That's crazy. You can get the 6 gig of RAM one for $700 new, and that's retail. And you might be saying to yourself, well, $700 is a lot to spend on a phone. Guys, look at the new Samsung Galaxy S9 line of phones. Look at iPhone line of phones. I mean, the XR is using older technology than the Nexus 5, and it's still $1,000 after tax. And even Sony, who I was a huge fan of, don't get me wrong, I had the Sony Xperia Z1, 2, 3, and 5. Yes, I skipped the 4. Even their XZ Premium, XZ3, I think, the new Sony, is $999. So for all of this, at $700 Canadian is a fantastic deal, and that's why I would recommend the Asus Zenfone 5Z, not Z. Z. You ever sing the alphabet song? It's QRSTUV WX Y and Z. It's not VED and Z. Okay, jeez, that's like elementary, literally. Anyways, for the Goody Reader review of the Zenfone 5Z, this is Peter. Everyone, have a great day.